Alright. I mean, honestly,
I like to
can't
ask
really
you from
remember
before,
much
of
about
course,
it.
though. Well, let's... You got Banyan on your team, that guy's a noob, you're gonna lose.
I know. I told them that they should cut this bandy guy, but they
Yeah.
just wouldn't stop. Just wouldn't listen to me.
You're going over to check for spy in A, that's good. Don't need to detonate the top of the roof, spies won't be on top of there. Check all these little spots though, definitely, yep. Pyro Gaming, check the middle one. Double check in case you move back, yep. Probably just check around spawn, maybe hold the spawn door in case soldier tries to farm ban or anything, yep. Average stuff here, CP Steel Pyro. You did the offense pyro thing, now you're rotating back. Blowing out upper with your down. You see they're trying to collapse from main, so you rotate back for a little bit. There isn't really anybody else fighting with your demo man though, even if it was just you with him there, you would have still died to heavy. Your heavy's not peek out at the same time as you, as your demo man, and your flank is on A instead of helping you clear it upper. So that is going to indeed cause your demo man to die there. Sniper's dead, you get collapsed on man, yep, that sounds about right. If you have your flank first go in with you on A, you clear it upper, then your flank can in from behind and you can actually do a push. You're not going to get that good of a CP steel push going if you only have your flank in behind and you won't have upper cleared, or if you have upper cleared but not flankers in. Those are usually the two prerequisites along with the gun sap, of course. It's just like flank isn't really going to get much done on their own there when they're just like by them in... Even if they're winning the flank fight, you see they're just sort of sitting around here, they're not on E, they're not getting in wishbone. It's like you could have had upper cleared out by now, but that's kind of not necessarily just on you. Not really as much on you, just kind of like a general thing. Yeah, you're detonating sniper, laying them on fire, covering for your demo in here. They're trying to walk in main, so you can't really support up top that well. You probably get a call that they're injured up top, so you try and detonate them. Does that force them off? It does, that's good. Yeah, you're doing pretty decently here. It's just your team isn't really taking the same peaks in fights. You're a little bit caught in between doing 50-50. That's honestly fine here, though. They're not fully committing to walking in, and you can only do so much as bar here. You're doing about your best right now. They go in for an exchange. You go in for a little bit just to stuff it. Yep, make sure you don't get shoved back out. Probably come out of the Uber at this point. Just let your demand take the rest of it. Make sure he gets gunned, doesn't get dropped. Once you get that initial space in the Uber, like once they get to around knocked to around here, I'd say that or really around here is when you can back out of the Uber and just let your demoman take it, so you can make sure gun goes down. Really, it should be getting sapped though, so you shouldn't need as much of the Uber. But I do like that you're trying to support your team during that Uber exchange there. Your team unfortunately doesn't clear it up, or your flank is in from behind, and you didn't really get the sap on the gun. But you are mostly doing the correct things here, definitely supporting your team, helping to clear out stickies. That's a good man. Light sniper and fire again. Yep, making very active use of the detonator. I like to see it. Your combo's a little uncertain what they're doing here. They're noticing upper's not getting cleared out, so they're going to clear it out. They get the telly finally. Are they going to try and go in for a push from upper? Oh god, they are. You're watching main because nobody else is. You can't do that much as Pyro, but you are kind of stuffing the heavy out. He's like, oh, Pyro's stirring, and the rest of their combo's probably going in. I will say, your combo probably should be waiting for you there. If their Pyro is competent, their Pyro holds right click, you get shoved all the way back up there. I mean, I don't think that's really on you there, though. Like, if your combo call they're going for an Uber exchange very soon, I'd say probably don't go that far away from them, so you can help them lead it. You won't have to go in during their Uber exchange, but just make sure they don't get insta stuff there. But if they weren't really like calling that they're going to go for an Uber exchange like that soon, then I'd say it's kind of on them instead of you, yeah.
They kind of just like, while I was still over there, they kind of just said use, and they just used it.
And it wasn't like coordinated or called beforehand, like when specifically?
Not really, they just
okay, that's like, on your combo, absolutely then. This Uber shouldn't have happened, like, you should have just lost this fight immediately, but I guess their player doesn't have right mouse button bound or something. Weird. Anyways, yeah. Honestly, if your combo is calling that they're like if they're not calling, they're going for an exchange, and you hear people are just like walking in main, or you have to, or like you're like, oh, okay, we have nobody watching main here. Like, it really shouldn't have to be you as pyro. But like, if your team's just sitting around here, it's asking. They're kind of asking to just get forced and collapsed upon, and it's important to just have somebody watching it. So honestly, like you're just playing pyro, you're filling the gaps. That's fine, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're doing a pretty good job at like just filling in all the gaps, considering like how your team's playing this. It does look like you won't end up catching that spy. Honestly, like half your attention should be going to here, half should be going to here. The enemy team isn't really peeking at this point, so you probably should just be dedicating yourself to like looking back here. You don't really have to stack point or like be watching forward as much there if your demoman has it locked out already, because they aren't really getting past these doorways. Your demoman gets dropped to sniper. Interesting peek on his part. Probably should have just gone straight for C. You're making sure they don't walk in through the doorways. Yep, that's fine.
He stood still for an arrow from our mid, but then the scout guillotined them from across the map.
Get used. I wouldn't really chase. You see there's stickies there. Your teamer isn't really in a position to support you. It does look like they just back out, though, to a singular pyro. Okay. They fear. They fear the DavidRedFace pyro. I would too. Honestly, though, I wouldn't go in that far there. Like, you're trying your luck against the heavier team is in a position to support you. If he pulled out his gun instead of holding fists out, you would have died there and gotten nothing done. Whereas if you hold this, like, passively or keep, like, just playing more towards combo, you don't die or, like, risk anything. I do think, honestly, that was a bit of an unnecessary risk. Here you're going in for a fight. Yep. Drop down onto C early. I don't think you go for that there. I think you just hold close with your combo, unless they're actively pushing into it more. I think you just more hold up towards here, air blast anybody who tries to drop down from here upwards, anybody who tries to drop down from here. I do think maybe that is a little bit of bait on your part there, and you end up dying for it. Yeah, I'd say that was, to some extent, your fault. I think you just kind of want to stay on here unless you're specifically like just collapsing with your combo going in for a full fight there, but they weren't really. They were just kind of lingering around on D, and you just gotta like take note of that and be like, okay, I'm probably not gonna be able to get much done there. Like by aggressing, it's much more important for me to just help my combo maintain their make sure they can live for longer. Lobby stuff them for a bit, sure. Around it was kind of risky if we'll go in D. You didn't really end up getting punished for it, but I probably would have just like backed out through here, met back up with your combo. I think you're just going off on your own like slightly too often. I think that's definitely the main thing I'm noticing. Help your flank out here. Sure, they're close already anyways on flank. Your combo's not really in. You peek this with your demo and you're getting out spammed, so you back up for heals, yep. Okay, yeah, switch for shotgun trenchip, spy down faster. Sure, you're under Greaser, so makes sense. Team's a little out of sync with getting on point there. Trying to initiate that is fine, but I wouldn't suggest going like full ahead of your teammates if they're kind of delaying there. It's like you want to be like just taking the same sort of spam in that sense, like from explosives in specific, that is, as pyro there, so you can reflect it all at the same time. It's like if your team's like a little bit slow around here, you just hold right click, boom, their demo man can't hurt them. If you're just on point alone there, you're just gonna get chipped down by heavy. So it's like definitely just be more cognizant of your own team, like just be looking back slightly more often, like right before you walk, and just look at your team's positioning and sort of build a mental image of like how your team plays. Like it looks like they kind of bait out pushes for a little bit too long a lot of the time. I wouldn't necessarily say you're in the wrong for trying to go in, but it's definitely something you just gotta like sort of take note of, yeah, like that your team just staggers for a little bit and you're gonna end up like finding yourself dying or out of position a lot of the time if you don't delay with them. That makes sense, yeah? Yeah. Because it's like you're just getting focused on point blank the heavy fire other things.
Yeah.
And I like how much you're trying to support, it's just you gotta be more aware of just how your team's playing it, yeah. I do think you're taking...
I remember I heard my like demo just call it, so just kind of like he just said bot at point. I just kind of like turned off my brain.
Yeah, you gotta bot intelligently. Bot with your other players as pyro. Play it like it's MVM, yo. Besides that, well, other real criticism is that, yeah, you're just kind of going off on your own at times. Fine. CP Steel can be a bit funny and mean.
It is pretty fun. It's a really fun pyro map, I'm being honest.
It do be. Their sniper goes down, you should be holding this doorway, flaming this. Spy could have crossed during all that downtime there. It's like, you immediately just want to be holding right here, flaming this, you don't have to be peeking and all, and this just prevents Spy from getting in entirely, pretty much. There's no reason to be playing further back there, there's no other threat. Unless a flanker is called in bombing from behind, or like they're called a whisper and you have to turn around if your team's swung around here, so that you don't just get rolled by spam, you should pretty much always just be looking forward, or if they're called upper, or they're going for exchange upper, look there. Again, if their sniper dies, you can peek it more aggressively, swing over here and try and flame Spy more. Maybe detonate over around this pack. Spies like to wait around there because there's a bit of cover. But really, there's just no reason not to hold this doorway. You are at no risk of being sniped. They're AEing, so you rotate over, your medic is here, your demo... dies to Spy.
We were kind of a little bit slow there.
Go and get a better look at it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm assuming your demo is calling for your combo to like rotate Wishbone there. Yeah, I'd say you and your medic bait him a bit there, unless he literally made that call right as he was around here. It's really important for you to be peeking it with your demo man at the same exact time, like for everybody to arrive at the same time there. So stuff like that doesn't randomly happen. Don't really have the column, so it's like, I can't say exactly, but yeah. Keep meta demo locked out, sure. Anybody else who tries to go in this Uber is just gonna get rolled now. Yep, that's pretty good. I do like how proactive you're being during these Ubers. Somehow your team lost a decent few players, though. But you do end up getting a lot of kills. Medic dies too, that's pretty good. Nice wide peeks. You actually deny their combo instead of just letting them walk into you. So that's good stuff. Always promising to see from up-and-comers. Playing in the game as Pyro. They're cleaning it upper. You're watching for Spy and Gun. Yep, makes sense. I don't think you need to be going in for anything fancy detonator-wise there. Just say, like, go for the consistent damage, keep them either pitted, or, like, just keep the flames on them there. You only really want to swing to, like, using detonator when it's like you can use it for control, when you can physically manipulate the movement of enemies, or, like, to wall peek, or, like, get choke points in corners. There, it's just, like, you really want the consistency. And if anybody else came in during that, like, slight down a bit of time while you're on detonator, it's like you could have gotten a lot of spammed on you. You go for Uber Exchange to deny this. You get taken in, so you don't just get air blasted off. Yep, that's fair. Your Pyro Extend should get air blasted off for that. Their Spy gets air blasted off. Your Demo man's caught off. Yeah. That was mostly fun. It's just nothing else really came in during the Uber. It was literally just you, your demo man, and your medic, and your demo man got shoved over here. You tried to body block for him, but it's just like, Only so much you can do, yeah. It's just a bit of a slow rotation. The enemy team was already in position around Wishbone at that point, and there was nothing else really assisting you there.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not rely on you, you're trying to do the right things mostly there. Definitely do like how much you're trying to support the team. I think with a bit of practice, you've got a lot of potential. At least for me, and I don't know what advance would be like. Oh, it takes time. Soldier bombs in. You deny him. Medic should trust that you can hold him there. Shouldn't force. I guess many. Wrangle many. Oh yeah, it's mostly fine. Honestly, your medic could have just like gone behind you for a little bit there though, while like the soldier is jumping in. Because it's like you can just airblast him back through here, and then you can back out through here instead of getting caught in. Not really on you, your medic kited to over here, so you kind of had to like swing to try and protect him as well. A lot of the time it's like, especially in lower divisions, medics will just like randomly split off from their pyro when they get bombed, but it's like, if they just like go towards where the pyro is playing, or like let their pyro block for them, it's like, you can get out a lot more, usually. But instead it's kind of just like they're doing like the classic Ashel thing where it's just like they feed the medic to the bomber because they split off and panic. I think that's a little bit too aggro of a peak. Your team's not really in a position to peak at the same exact time you did. It's really important to have like really precise timing there. And in general with like these peaks, it's kind of just a death trap otherwise. Again, you're trying to do the right thing though, like you're trying to support your team, it's just like the execution is low off, the timing's low off, just give it a little bit of practice, work it out with your team. Maybe like watch back some of the demos on your own. See, playing close Wishbone here with your demo man, sure, yep. You get a call on heavy's injured, you chase. A little risky. Would have been a lot cleaner if your team forwarded with you there. Honestly, that's not horrible. Bit of a goofy Uber exchange. Probably could have been a bit more efficient there, but oh well. If you take your eyes off the pyro for too long, you get air blasted back out here. Maybe though, in like a universe, you could have like swung a little bit around, just like gone behind the medic, air blasted them, and then like body blocked them while air blasting the pyro this way. But it's really hard in the moment, especially when it's like so enclosed and like other people are getting flashed and you're not even sure if you're gonna get used on entirely. Medic shouldn't have died for that though. Oh well. Don't think I'm assuming you got collapsed on from slow door. Or like everybody just died during the exchange, didn't actually pay attention to the end. You're trying to clear off point here. At this point you probably deal with the player in heaven. Yep, soldier if they shoot rocket. Yep. Okay, yep. Hit the reflect, that saves it. It can be hard in such an enclosed space for sure. And every player has like different patterns, that's fine. Cleared off heaven, so that's the right thing, yep. Otherwise detonating E point to get him off of it for sure. Now you're just kind of looking for spy. I'd say be detonating right around here a bit more though. Especially if you have any like players like Sniper or anybody over in the window or just like passively on D. Like just right in this hallway or so. You see how spy just like tries to walk through, like pretty much this is the only way spy is ever getting through here. Like literally the only way at this stage of the game since they don't have C, so all you need to do like to deny spy is just to detonate here. Honestly, if you want to just keep detonating this over and over again, it is basically impossible for their spy to get through if there's no other distractions, which there wasn't really for a while there, unless he's on spy seclusion. Alright. Do you have any questions, anything like that?
What do you think was like the biggest thing I could improve on?
I think just the timing of your peaks. It's like you're mostly like trying to do the right things. You're mostly taking okay peaks. It's just your team isn't really in a position to support you there, and then you die, and then it's like you usually lose other players as a result, or like you'll peak and die, and that kind of like stuffs a push.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really important to like be looking back as you're preparing to like walk in there a bit more, just to be a bit more cognizant to get used to the patterns of your team. I would say that was definitely the biggest thing. Do you feel the need to like have another demo gone over, or do you think that probably clears up like most of the underlying issues you'd be seeing?
Probably clears up most of them.
All right.
Thanks for the demo review, Blizztank.
Yeah, no problem.